Hello and welcome to all our viewers on this digital exclusive right here on CNN News 18. I am Ridhima Bhatnagar. The buzzword today that everybody seems to be wanting more or know more about, it's in the news almost every other day, is cryptocurrency. But it is not just about Bitcoin anymore. What are altcoins? Can you really have an SIP in cryptocurrency? How can you protect yourself as far as the scams around it are concerned? What about the move that China has taken and also the move that El Salvador has taken? To talk about all of these questions and many more that you continue to write to us, I have with me Nishchal Shetty. He's, of course, somebody who's carried on the crypto movement for India for a very, very long time. You can see all those at Wazirex as well. Nishchal, always a pleasure having you on board with us to really talk to us about the crypto movement in India and all these recent developments as well. First, let's really talk about the most recent developments that we've seen, especially the move that is coming in China. That's created a bit of a gray area as far as even sentiment is concerned. How are you reading it? What does it mean for users?
I think it's definitely something that the market hasn't taken kindly to, and the first I think 24 to 48 hours after the news went live about the whole crackdown in China, you saw a massive dip in the prices of Bitcoin as well as all of the altcoins in the market. But I think after about 2.5 days, the markets recovered and they're back to the trading levels that they were before the news came out. One of the things to understand about this whole China thing was that the news sort of came out, in the English or the international media after about a month or so. Then it was implemented. So the markets also realized that the news had had some time, and there's
Yeah.
not been a major impact on the volumes or anything around it. The other thing is that you can still hold crypto in China. The only thing that now you can't do is trade or do any of the other activities. So it's going to take a few months to realize what direction this is going. But for now, the markets have stabilized.
Okay, Nishil, as I said, when this craze of crypto really started and people started to understand whether they want to invest in it or what it really does, the only name we knew was Bitcoin. Then, of course, the ambit increased, Ethereum, and now a lot is being said about altcoins. If I understand this correctly, it's nothing else but a short form for alternative coins. Talk to us about how many of these do we have and what do they really do?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Altcoins are nothing but anything apart from Bitcoin, which is a crypto, is an altcoin. And how many? There are over 10,000. And it might seem shocking to you, but the thing is, you have to have a mental model of how websites are. We have millions of websites today, and the reason why they exist is different. Some are social networks, some are search engines, some are just for e-commerce. So that's the same line of thought that is happening in crypto, that there are so many financial functions that can be performed by crypto, and one crypto will not be able to fulfill all of these. So what's happening is
Sure.
different functions of finance are getting different tokens, and that's where these altcoins have emerged today.
Okay. They should also, as I said, as the investor curiosity is also increasing with each passing day. A lot has been said about how the investment options as far as cryptocurrency also increase. A lot is being said about and SIPs in cryptocurrency as well. I, for one, are very, very curious about it. Talk to us about how can that be done? What do we know so far about it?
I think so. SIP is one term. The other that people more use it more often in crypto is rupee cost averaging. It comes from the dollar cost averaging. The idea is instead of buying, let's say, for 1,000 rupees together, you spread it out, and it might be over a daily basis or a weekly, monthly. The good thing about that, especially in markets like crypto, which are very volatile, is that you sort of hedge yourself against this volatility. And it gets even more important. You might have seen SIPs in traditional markets, but I think they play a greater role in crypto, especially if you are an investor who does not really have the time to understand the markets or get too deep, or if you're not full time into this. I think SIPs will play a major role, and now everyone's working on those. Still early days, but I think that's a very smart way. And even though many products don't have SIP option, what people are doing is they're loading their wallets, and then they buy it on their own, or they schedule it for like a weekly buy or a monthly buy.
Okay. Nishal, the other big trend that I want to discuss with you is, as I said, when crypto started, it was pretty much restricted to the bigger cities and the metros as far as the country was concerned. But now we're seeing a much deeper penetration to the smaller cities as well. What are the kind of pattern and trends, say, in the last 1 or 2 years that you've noticed as well?
Absolutely. In fact, I think just to take the example of WazirX, we've seen over 55% of our signups of the last 6 to 12 months have come from tier two, tier three cities. And I think the indication is very clear that crypto is spreading across the nation. And the biggest reason for this is now it does not matter where you are. It's purely on the
Hmm.
internet. And you just need a mobile phone and an internet connection, and the internet penetration in India is going to a really good level. So this is probably the biggest reason why you're seeing the tier two and tier three cities getting into crypto.
Nishal, this is something that me and you discuss almost every time we talk over the last few years, which is as far as the gray area, a clear policy as far as the Indian government is concerned. The hashtag India Wants Crypto has been used by you for months together to try and one, educate people about what cryptocurrency does, how much should we know about it, but also the kind of challenges that we faced with the Indian government. Talk to us about what are the kind of hurdles, how much have we moved so far, and how much more to go?
I think the good thing is that there is movement in India now. We've had our regulators talk about crypto. This was not really the case, let's say 1 or 2 years ago. Even this year, our finance minister spoke about crypto. There's also talk
Yeah.
of a crypto bill that is under development. So I think India has taken that approach of progress. Let's start discussing. Let's start initiating what should be the crypto regulation. We're still a long way from regulation, but then it's not too late for us because no other large nation has come up with crypto regulation yet. So I would say we're a bit behind other countries, but not too late for us. It's a good thing that we are already entered. The governments are talking, everyone as people are talking about it. As exchanges, we have formed a regulatory self-regulatory organization to sort of have some do's and don'ts even before regulation comes in. So there's a tremendous progress in India in terms of, I would say, crypto regulations. But regulations are going to take longer because it's a complex topic, and we are a large nation. So I think we are a few
Okay.
years away before regulation comes in.
Okay. Nischal, this is a very Indian mentality, but whether we buy a new car or whether we invest in the market, our only question is how much does it give? So a lot of people want to just get into the market simply because thinking that there will be a high return just in one go. I want you to give us some sort of a red flags because we're seeing a lot of millennials also use crypto as their first time investment opportunities. Talk to us about some red flags that one should know before they invest in cryptocurrency.
I think the most important is the volatility. Be aware that this is a new market. It's still a very early days. It's in that innovative phase where you don't know how this will evolve. So there's a lot of volatility. The regulatory uncertainty is again definitely a factor that you have to consider. The third is the fact that many people think that just because it's a crypto, it is valuable. That's not the case. It's very similar to just because I have a website does not mean the website gets valuable. You have to work on it. You have to make it popular. So be aware. Just don't invest in a project because it is a crypto project. That's very very
Sure.
important. And I think in general people are getting more informed. That's a good thing. Everyone's learning. There's a lot of educational material. So do not just get into it without understanding what crypto is. It's as it's similar to any other financial system where you have to learn and understand before you get into it. And always do your due diligence behind the teams that are working on these projects before you invest.
Absolutely. Nishal, just out of curiosity, what are some of the most favorite cryptocurrencies that we're seeing, especially the younger generation invest in today?
Oh, it's everything. That's no one. Bitcoin definitely is the dominant thing,
Sure.
about 50 to 60%. Then there's Ethereum, which has really taken up shape, and then there was this time of Dogecoin and all these meme tokens that really emerged. So
Right.
it keeps varying. It's like flavor of the season. Now there are alternatives to Ethereum that people are saying these will be the next Ethereum competitors. So people are investing in those. It just keeps changing. You have to look at it every day. There's a new flavor.
Okay. Nishal, every time when you invest in, there is also the other side where people try and take an advantage of the growing situation. This is something that we saw similar in India also a couple of weeks ago when a crypto scam was unearthed. A couple of people made a WhatsApp group, you had to invest in it, and then the WhatsApp group crashed and people couldn't get their money out. At this time, somebody who's tracked the crypto movement for so long, uh, how do we ensure that people don't fall for such traps? How do you know what is real and what is not?
Look, I think the most important thing is look at the team behind it and look at how long it has been there. Anything new and on certain groups, not in the public domain, not in the open, is something that you should really raise some red flags. The other is crypto today has a large community of influencers, companies, investors, founders. So look around, look what they're talking about. Ask around, ask the different people in the ecosystem, and then of course the biggest problem is lack of regulation, which is where all of these are happening, and we are pushing for regulation as a ecosystem. But I think you should do your due diligence. Do not get into something which is not in the public domain. That's the most important thing, because most of these schemes, they're always in these hidden groups, and they do not want to be spoken about. Look at read media reports. Our media today is so much into crypto, and they understand crypto so well. I think any legitimate project would get a mention in the media as well. So anything lacking, I think you should stay away.
Okay. Nishal, lastly, we spoke about the move from China. We need to talk about the move at El Salvador also. How is the crypto community reading that?
I think the crypto community is overjoyed because this is the first time that a country has adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender in the country. I just recently read that the president of El Salvador tweeted that over 2 million active people in the country are using the crypto wallet, and he says that's bigger than any other bank in the country. So within 3 weeks of launching,
Oh,
the crypto wallet has more users than any bank in that country. That's amazing news for adoption, and I think that's what the power of crypto is. It's just so simple. You just have to download an application. You're part of the digital economy, and I think that's where the good news is, that adoption is growing. So I think we're all excited, and the next 6 to 12 months we'll understand how a country adopting Bitcoin, how does that shape the whole crypto ecosystem.
absolutely. So, of course, we hope this discussion really helped all our viewers. Because of time constraints, of course, it's very difficult to answer all questions, but you can always write into us. You can always write into Nishchal. He's been tracking the movement for very, very long. But the one word of advice that we always give you is educate yourself, read about it, talk to people before you invest your hard-earned money into something and it results into a fraud or a scam. We leave the conversation there. Nishchal, thank you so much for taking our time and helping us, one, debunk some myths and also talk to us about what the future of crypto really looks like. Thank you so much for watching.